In our previous videos, we have learned about different types of error we get in JavaScript. In this video, we'll try to understand about how to handle them. So let's have a look at this code snippet where we have three variables: first name, last name, and full name. Full name is the concatenation of first and last. At last, we are doing three alerts: first name, last name, and full name. Everything looks perfectly fine, and we are expecting three alert messages one after another: aria, stack, and aria stack, with these three lines. Let's try to execute this code by refreshing the page. As soon as we refresh the page, the first thing we notice is we were expecting three alert messages, but we are not getting them. What is the problem with that? Then in console, we can see that it is throwing an error that first name is not defined. So we have done a bit of misspelling of missing E in name. So first thing we get to understand here is like when error happens in the code, here in line number 5, the code immediately stops. It doesn't go after that line by throwing an error in the console. But do you think that is the best way of dealing with it? If there is any error happening in the code, the message is visible in the console that not a lot of users uses. So obviously they will not be able to understand the errors, and the code after the error will not be executed. It's a very common thing for programmers to make small mistakes. But we need to learn what are the different ways and better ways of handling errors if it happens like this. So rather than showing the error in console, it would be better if I can show it in a bit more friendly way. So let's see how we can fix this code. So simplest way of doing that is by doing E and everything will work properly. But we don't want that. So first thing we want is no matter if there is any error happening or not, we want all the lines of code to execute. We don't want code to stop executing as soon as error happened. So we need to fix that part. So when you want to do that, you will have to use a special statement called try catch. So how try catch works is like try will try to run this code, like let full name is equal to first name plus last name. We also know that let creates a block scoped. So let me just change it to var so we can have access to full name outside of that scope. So here we wrap the code that was having the issue into a try catch. It will try running this code. If anything goes wrong, it will fall back to catch statement. And here we'll just say alert, something went wrong. Let's see what happens to the code now. Our first aim to let each line of this code execute. So I'll refresh it, and what we can see that here instead of throwing the error here and stopping the code, we can see the error message something went wrong. And after that, you can see that line number 11 is executed and we are seeing the output aria, and line number 13 that shows the output stack. And at last, because there was some issues with this, the full name is initialized to undefined and we can see undefined here. So by using try catch, we were able to control even if something is going wrong with this code, show me an error message and keep going forward. So we fix our first issue by trying to use try catch. Here we also get the error variable. We can also use that. So instead of saying something went wrong, let us alert the error message. Refresh it here, and here it says the exact error message that was visible in console log is visible in alert right now, saying first name is not defined. And here we can see the output. Once we fix this by writing E, it will try running this code. It will not throw any error. Because it will not throw any error, it will not go to catch statement and it will continue running this. So you can see aria, stack, and aria stack. So we are getting the right output. Try catch also has a new addition known as finally. How finally works is like either it is try or catch, you will run finally. So for example, I just say alert finally. So what it will do is no matter what happens, whether there is no error or when there is an error. So in the case there is no error, it returns finally. Even if we go ahead and create an error by removing E and refresh it, first it will throw an error because it tried running this code, could not, so it will go ahead for catch. Even after running catch, they will go for finally, and we can see finally here. So try catch is used for control flow. It will try running this code. If something goes wrong, it will stop there and go for catch statement. And no matter what happens, either try or catch, it will always run finally. And finally is optional. You don't have to put it. It's an optional thing. So in this way, we learnt about try, catch, and finally to run all lines of code even if there is some error happening at certain line. Because the nature of JavaScript is as soon as error occurs at certain line, it will stop and it will not go forward. By using try catch, we can get help with that.